You know you're married into the wrong family when your father-in-law fires you in front of 100 people, then gives you 5 minutes to clear out your desk. That's exactly what happened to me on a Tuesday morning that started like any other, except it didn't end like any other. My name is Greg Patterson, and until 10 minutes ago, I was the operations director at Hartwell Industries. Now I'm just another guy with a cardboard box and a bruised ego walking through the lobby while everyone pretends not to stare. "Gregory," Charles Hartwell had said, using my full name like I was some kid getting scolded. The conference room fell silent. 22 department heads, the entire senior staff, all watching. "Your performance has been disappointing. We're making a change." I should have seen it coming. Charles never liked me, not from day one when I married his precious daughter Amanda 5 years ago. I wasn't good enough then, and apparently I'm still not good enough now. The fact that I'd increased productivity by 30% over the past 2 years meant nothing. The fact that half the company's best ideas came from my team meant even less. "Thank you for the cleaning tip," I said, keeping my voice steady. Charles's face went red, but I was already standing, already walking toward the door. That's when something beautiful happened. Jim Morrison from accounting stood up, then Lisa Chen from marketing, then Dave Rodriguez from logistics. One by one, 22 people rose from their chairs and followed me out of that conference room. The look on Charles's face was worth every penny of the severance package I wasn't going to get. Now I'm sitting in my truck in the parking lot, watching those same 22 people walk to their cars. My phone buzzes with text messages, offers of support, promises to follow me wherever I land next. It's touching, really. Makes a man feel like maybe he's not such a failure after all. But there's one text that catches my attention. It's from a number I don't recognize. "You should see what your wife's doing at the Riverside Motel tonight. Room 237, 9 p.m. I stare at the screen for a long moment. Amanda has been distant lately, working late, taking calls in the other room. I told myself it was just stress from her new position as marketing vice president. Daddy's little princess, climbing the corporate ladder one rung at a time. The Riverside Motel, I know the place. It's where Amanda and I used to meet when we were first dating, back when sneaking around felt exciting instead of pathetic. The irony isn't lost on me. Before we dive deeper into this story, I have one small request. Please subscribe, drop a like, comment, and hit that hype button to boost this channel so more people can discover these incredible Reddit stories. I grab my gym bag from the back seat. My boxing gloves are in there, along with my hand wraps and mouth guard. I've been training at Murphy's gym for 3 years now, ever since I realized that marriage to Amanda Hartwell was going to require some way to work off frustration. Eddie Murphy, the owner and my trainer, always says the same thing. Don't fight angry, Greg. Fight smart. Tonight, I might need to do both. The Riverside Motel hasn't changed much since Amanda and I used to come here. Same flickering neon sign, same cracked parking lot, same smell of cigarettes and regret hanging in the air. I park 3 spaces down from Amanda's white BMW and check my watch. 8:55 p.m. Room 237 is on the second floor, overlooking the highway. The curtains are drawn, but there's a sliver of light peeking through. I climb the exterior stairs slowly, my footsteps echoing off the metal. Part of me hopes the anonymous tipster was wrong. Part of me hopes Amanda is in there alone, maybe meeting a client or working on some secret project. But I know better. I've known for weeks, maybe months. The way she looks through me instead of at me. The way she flinches when I touch her shoulder. The way she's suddenly developed a passion for working out at the company gym. I raise my hand to knock, then stop. Through the thin wall, I can hear voices. Amanda's laugh, breathy and excited in a way I haven't heard in years. And a man's voice, deep and confident. "You worry too much, babe. Greg's clueless, always has been." My hand freezes halfway to the door. I know that voice. Dominic Castellano, the new factory floor manager. 6'2", built like a linebacker, with the kind of easy swagger that comes from never having to work for anything. Amanda hired him 6 months ago, said he came highly recommended. I guess I know what he was recommended for. "He's not as stupid as you think," Amanda says. "He figured out the Patterson account discrepancy last month when nobody else could." "So? He's still just some blue-collar nobody who got lucky marrying the boss's daughter. Face it, Amanda, you outgrew him years ago." There it is. The truth, served up with a side of contempt. I pull out my phone and start recording, holding it close to the door. The walls in this place are paper thin, perfect for picking up conversations. "Sometimes I wonder what would have happened if I'd married someone like you instead," Amanda says. "Someone who understands ambition." You still can, Dominic replies. Divorce him. Your dad will back you up, especially after today. Greg's finished in this town anyway. I've heard enough. I knock on the door, 3 sharp raps that echo like gunshots. Silence. Then frantic whispering. Footsteps. The sound of someone scrambling around. Who is it? Amanda calls out, her voice artificially bright. Room service, I say. Compliments of the management. More whispering. I hear Dominic curse under his breath. The door opens a crack, and Amanda peeks out. Her hair is messed up, her lipstick smeared. She's wearing the black dress I bought her for our anniversary last year. Greg, what are you doing here? Funny story, I say, pushing the door open wider. I got this interesting text message. Dominic is sitting on the edge of the bed, fully dressed but disheveled. His shirt is untucked, his hair pointing in 3 different directions. He looks like a kid caught with his hand in the cookie jar. This isn't what it looks like, Amanda starts, but I hold up my hand. Save it. I heard enough through the wall to know exactly what this is. I look at Dominic, who's trying to project confidence, but mostly looks nervous. Blue-collar nobody, huh? That's creative. Look, man, I didn't mean... 5 minutes, I interrupt. That's what your boss gave me today. 5 minutes to clear out and disappear, so I'm giving you the same courtesy. 5 minutes to get out of my sight before I do something we'll all regret. Dominic stands up, and I can see him calculating. He's bigger than me, probably stronger, but there's something in my eyes that makes him think twice. Maybe it's the boxing training. Maybe it's just the look of a man who's got nothing left to lose. Greg, please, Amanda says. Let's talk about this like adults. Adults? I laugh, and it comes out harsher than I intended. Adults don't sneak around in cheap motels. Adults don't trash talk their spouses to their lovers. Adults don't fire family members in front of the entire company. I turn to leave, then stop. Oh, and Dominic, you might want to check your car before you drive home tonight. His face goes pale. What did you do? Nothing yet, but the night is young. I walk out, leaving them both standing there. As I head down the stairs, I can hear them arguing. Amanda's voice is shrill, panicked. Dominic sounds angry and scared. In the parking lot, I take a moment to look at Dominic's car. It's a red Mustang convertible, pristine and expensive. The kind of car a man buys when he's trying to prove something. I walk around it slowly, admiring the paint job, the chrome wheels, the leather interior. Then I take out my pocket knife and put a small, neat hole in each tire. Not slashing them dramatically like in the movies, just a controlled puncture that will leave him stranded, but not dangerous. I slip a note under his windshield wiper. You have 5 minutes to run, Tarzan. As I drive away, I can see them in my rearview mirror, standing in the motel parking lot, gesturing wildly at the flat tires. Amanda has her phone out, probably calling for roadside assistance. My phone rings. It's Eddie from the gym. Greg, you okay, man? Heard about what happened at work today. I'm fine, Eddie. Better than fine, actually. I think I'm finally seeing things clearly. That's good, but remember what I always tell you. Don't fight them in their ring, I finish. Make them play in yours. Exactly. You coming in tomorrow for training? Wouldn't miss it. I've got a feeling I'm going to need to stay in shape for what comes next. The next morning brings a surprise. I'm drinking coffee in my kitchen, scrolling through job listings on my laptop, when Amanda walks in. She looks tired, her usual perfect appearance slightly frayed around the edges. Her heels click against the tile floor as she pours herself a cup of coffee. We need to talk, she says, not looking at me. Do we? Because last night you seemed pretty clear about where things stand. She sits across from me at the kitchen table, the same table where we used to eat breakfast together and plan our future. That feels like a lifetime ago. What you saw last night, it's complicated? Is it? Because it seemed pretty straightforward to me. You're having an affair with the muscle-bound moron you hired 6 months ago. He thinks I'm a loser. You agree with him, and you're both planning my exit from your life. Amanda winces. You weren't supposed to hear that. No kidding. But I did, and now we're here. I close my laptop and lean back in my chair. So what's the plan, Amanda? Divorce? Annulment? Or are we going to pretend this never happened? I want to try to work things out. I almost laugh. Work things out? You mean you want me to pretend I didn't catch you in bed with another man? We weren't in bed. Don't. I hold up my hand. Just don't. We both know what was happening in that room, and we both know it wasn't the first time. She's quiet for a long moment, staring into her coffee cup. When she looks up, there are tears in her eyes. For a second, I almost feel sorry for her. Almost. Greg, I'm sorry. I really am. Things between us have been difficult lately, and Dominic was just there. It didn't mean anything. It meant enough for you to discuss divorcing me. That was just talk. I was confused, emotional. You were planning my replacement. My phone buzzes with a text message. It's from Jim Morrison, one of the 22 who walked out with me yesterday. Greg, you need to see this. Amanda sent an email to the board this morning. She's claiming you've been job hunting for months and using company resources to do it. She's got fake evidence and everything. They're buying it. I show Amanda the text. Her face goes white. How did Jim get access to board communications? I ask. I don't know. But I do. Jim's wife works in the legal department. She's been feeding him information for months about the company's shady practices. Charles Hartwell thinks he's running a tight ship, but information leaks like water through a sieve. You're trying to destroy my reputation, I say. Make it look like I was planning to leave anyway, so Daddy doesn't look bad for firing his son-in-law. Greg, please. 5 minutes, I interrupt. That seems to be the magic number in this family. 5 minutes to clear out my desk, 5 minutes for your boyfriend to run. Now you get 5 minutes to explain why I shouldn't call a lawyer and take half of everything you own. Amanda's tears stop flowing. Her expression hardens, and for a moment, I see her father in her face. The same cold calculation, the same ruthless ambition. You can't afford a lawyer, Greg. Not anymore. And even if you could, what are you going to prove? That I had dinner with a colleague? That I was working late on a project? I have recordings. Of what? A private conversation between two adults? Good luck making that stick in court. She's right, and we both know it. But she's also underestimating me, just like her father did. Just like Dominic did. You're probably right, I say, standing up. I probably can't prove anything in court, but I don't need to go to court to ruin your life. I walk to the window and look out at our neighborhood, Maple Street, where we've lived for 3 years, where Amanda hosts her book club meetings and charity fundraisers, where reputation matters more than truth. See, Amanda, you and your family live in a glass house. All that money, all that status, all those carefully maintained appearances, it's fragile. One good throw, and the whole thing comes crashing down. Are you threatening me? I'm educating you. There's a difference. My phone rings. It's Eddie from the gym. Greg, you better get down here. We've got a situation. 20 minutes later, I'm standing in Murphy's boxing gym, looking at Dominic Castellano. He's wearing workout clothes and boxing gloves, shadow boxing in front of the heavy bag. His form is terrible, all muscle and no technique. He's been here for an hour, Eddie tells me quietly. Asking about you, wanting to know when you usually train, says he wants to settle things like men. Does he now? I walk over to the equipment rack and grab my gloves. Dominic notices me and stops punching the bag. There he is, he says, loud enough for everyone in the gym to hear. The peeping Tom himself. Dominic, fancy meeting you here. How are the tires? His face darkens. You think you're clever, don't you? Sneaking around, playing games, but you're just a coward who can't face the truth. And what truth is that? That your wife doesn't love you anymore. That she never really did. She married you because she felt sorry for you, and now she's realized her mistake. The gym has gone quiet. Everyone is watching, waiting to see what happens next. Eddie moves closer, ready to intervene if things get out of hand. You know what, Dominic? You're absolutely right. Amanda doesn't love me anymore. Maybe she never did. But here's what you don't understand. I slip on my gloves and start wrapping my hands. I don't care. What? I said I don't care. You can have her. You can have the whole dysfunctional family, the corporate politics, the backstabbing, all of it. Consider it a wedding gift. Dominic looks confused. This isn't going the way he expected. But, I continue, you disrespected me. You called me names behind my back, you vandalized my marriage, and you cost me my job. That I do care about. So what are you going to do about it? I smile. I'm going to give you what you came here for, a chance to settle this like men. Eddie steps forward. Greg, I don't think... It's okay, Eddie. 3 rounds, headgear, 16-ounce gloves. Just a friendly sparring session between two guys working out their differences. Dominic grins. He outweighs me by 40 pounds and thinks size equals victory. He's about to learn otherwise. You're on, little man. 10 minutes later, we're in the ring. Word has spread, and the gym is packed. Even some of the 22 former Hartwell employees have shown up. Jim Morrison is recording everything on his phone. The first round goes exactly as I expected. Dominic comes out swinging like a bar fighter, all aggression and no strategy. I dance around him, letting him tire himself out, landing quick jabs to his body and head. By the end of the round, he's breathing hard and looking frustrated. "What's wrong, Tarzan?" I ask as we touch gloves for round 2. "Not as easy as you thought?" Round 2 is where I start to work. I've been boxing for 3 years, training with Eddie 4 times a week. I know how to move, how to breathe, how to make every punch count. Dominic is strong, but he's sloppy. He telegraphs every punch, leaves himself open, fights with his ego instead of his brain. I start targeting his body, working his ribs and stomach with combinations. Each punch is precise, calculated. I'm not trying to hurt him, just embarrass him, make him look foolish in front of everyone. By round 3, Dominic is exhausted. His punches have no power behind them, and he's dropping his guard. I could finish him easily, but that's not the point. Instead, I spend the round making him miss, slipping his punches, making him look clumsy and amateurish. When the final bell rings, Dominic is bent over, hands on his knees, gasping for air. I'm barely winded. "Good workout," I say, pulling off my gloves. "We should do this again sometime." The crowd is murmuring, impressed. A few people clap. Dominic straightens up, his face red with exertion and embarrassment. "This doesn't change anything," he pants. "Amanda still chose me over you." "You're right," I agree. "It doesn't change that. But it does change how people see you. And in a town like this, reputation is everything." I turn to Jim Morrison, who's still recording. "Make sure you get my good side when you post that online." As I walk out of the gym, I can hear Dominic arguing with Eddie, demanding a rematch. Eddie's response is classic. "Son, you just got schooled by a man half your size. Maybe it's time to find a new hobby." My phone buzzes with a text from an unknown number. "Impressive show, but you have no idea what you're really up against." A friend. I stare at the message for a long moment. Then I delete it and head home. Amanda's car is gone, but there's another car in my driveway. A silver Lexus I recognize. Susan Walsh, Amanda's best friend and confidant, is sitting on my front porch. This should be interesting. Susan Walsh has been Amanda's best friend since college. She's also the most manipulative person I've ever met, which is saying something considering I married into the Hartwell family. She's sitting on my porch swing, perfectly dressed in a business suit that probably costs more than most people make in a month. "Hello, Greg," she says as I walk up the front steps. "We need to talk? Do we? Because I'm pretty talked out for one day. Trust me, you want to hear what I have to say." I unlock the front door and gesture for her to come inside. Susan has been in my house dozens of times, but today she looks around like she's seeing it for the first time. Cataloging, evaluating, probably calculating its worth. "Nice place," she says. "Amanda always said you had good taste, even if you couldn't afford to indulge it." "Get to the point, Susan." She sits on my couch, crossing her legs carefully. "The point is that you're making a mess of a situation that could be handled cleanly and quietly." "I'm making a mess?" "The boxing match, the tire incident, the public confrontation at the motel. You're acting like a scorned teenager instead of a grown man." I sit across from her in my favorite chair, the one Amanda always complained was too worn and shabby for the living room. And how exactly should a grown man act when he discovers his wife is cheating on him? He should be smart about it, strategic. He should think about what he really wants and figure out the best way to get it. "And what do you think I want?" Susan smiles, and there's something predatory about it. "Revenge, justice, a chance to make them pay for humiliating you." "You sound like you speak from experience." "I do. You see, Greg, I know exactly how you feel right now. The anger, the betrayal, the desire to watch them suffer the way they've made you suffer." She reaches into her purse and pulls out a manila envelope. 5 years ago, I was engaged to a man named Robert Chen. He was everything I thought I wanted. Successful, handsome, charming. We were planning the perfect wedding, the perfect life. What happened? I found out he was embezzling money from his company. Not just a little bit, hundreds of thousands of dollars. He was planning to disappear right after our wedding, leaving me to deal with the fallout. Susan opens the envelope and pulls out several photographs. They show a man I don't recognize in various compromising situations, meeting with shady-looking characters, exchanging briefcases, entering and leaving buildings that look like they house illegal operations. I spent 2 years gathering evidence, building a case, planning my revenge. When I was ready, I didn't just expose him, I destroyed him. His career, his reputation, his freedom. He's currently serving 8 years in federal prison. Congratulations. What does this have to do with me? Everything, because Amanda and Dominic aren't the real problem, Greg. They're just symptoms. She puts the photographs back in the envelope and leans forward. Charles Hartwell has been stealing from his own company for 15 years, skimming from contracts, inflating expenses, hiding money in offshore accounts. Amanda knows about it. So does Dominic. They're all in it together. My stomach drops. You're lying. Am I? Think about it. Why do you think Charles was so eager to get rid of you? You're too honest, too thorough. You were getting close to discovering things that could destroy the whole family. If you know all this, why haven't you done anything about it? Susan's smile widens. Who says I haven't? Who do you think sent you that text about the motel? Who do you think has been feeding information to your friend Jim's wife in the legal department? The pieces start falling into place. Susan has been orchestrating this entire situation, manipulating everyone involved. But why? What do you want from me? I want you to help me finish what I started. Charles Hartwell destroyed my career 5 years ago when I tried to expose some irregularities in his accounting. He had me blacklisted, made it impossible for me to find work in this industry. I've been planning his downfall ever since. And Amanda? Amanda is collateral damage. She chose her side when she decided to cheat on you with Dominic. She sealed her fate when she tried to frame you for corporate espionage this morning. I stand up and walk to the window. Outside, my neighbors are going about their normal lives, mowing lawns, walking dogs, washing cars. They have no idea that their quiet suburban street is about to become ground zero for a corporate war. Why should I trust you? You've been manipulating the situation from the beginning. Because we want the same thing, Greg. We want them to pay for what they've done to us. And because you don't have a choice. Amanda and Charles are planning to destroy you completely. The fake evidence about your job hunting is just the beginning. They're going to claim you were embezzling money, that you were planning industrial espionage, that you were emotionally unstable and potentially dangerous. She stands up and hands me the envelope. But I can give you the tools to fight back. Real evidence, documented proof of their crimes. All I ask in return is that you help me expose them publicly in a way that ensures they can never recover. I take the envelope, but don't open it. What exactly are you proposing? The company's annual shareholders meeting is next week. It's going to be held at the community center with all the major investors, board members, and employees in attendance. Charles always gives a big speech about the company's success and bright future. And this year, he's going to get some unexpected questions from the audience. Questions about missing money, fraudulent contracts, and offshore accounts. Questions he won't be able to answer without incriminating himself. You want me to be the one asking the questions. I want you to be the one presenting the evidence. You're the wronged party, the honest employee who was fired for getting too close to the truth. When you stand up and reveal everything, people will listen. I open the envelope and scan through the documents inside. Bank statements, email printouts, photographs, financial records. If even half of this is real, Charles Hartwell is looking at serious prison time. How did you get all this? I've been working as a freelance accountant for the past 5 years, taking on small clients, building my reputation back up. One of those clients was a private investigator who specialized in corporate fraud. We became close. He taught me how to dig deep, how to follow money trails, how to document everything properly. And now you want revenge. I want justice. There's a difference. I close the envelope and look at Susan. She's beautiful, intelligent, and completely ruthless. In another life, I might have been attracted to her. In this life, I'm terrified of her. What happens to Amanda in all this? That depends on her. If she cooperates, if she testifies against her father, she might avoid prison. If she doesn't, Susan shrugs. She made her choice when she decided to betray you. And Dominic? Dominic is a useful idiot. He's been helping them move money around without understanding what he was really doing. He'll probably get a reduced sentence in exchange for his testimony. I sit back down, my head spinning. This morning, I was a recently fired husband dealing with an unfaithful wife. Now I'm apparently a key player in a corporate conspiracy that could destroy dozens of lives. I need time to think about this? You don't have time. The shareholders' meeting is in 6 days. If we're going to do this, we need to start preparing now. And if I say no? Susan's expression doesn't change, but something cold flickers in her eyes. Then you'll go down with them, because Charles isn't going to stop until you're completely destroyed, and Amanda isn't going to protect you. She heads toward the door, then stops. Oh, and Greg, that boxing match today was impressive, but it was also a mistake. You've shown them that you're willing to fight back. They're going to escalate now, try to neutralize you before you can cause more damage. What do you mean? I mean you should be very careful over the next few days. Charles Hartwell has connections you don't know about, and he's not above using them to protect his interests. She leaves me standing in my living room, holding an envelope full of evidence that could either save my life or destroy it completely. Outside, the sun is setting, painting the sky in shades of orange and red. My phone rings. It's Amanda. "Greg, we need to talk. Right now. It's important." "I'm listening." "Not over the phone. Meet me at the house in an hour. And Greg, come alone." The line goes quiet. I look at the envelope in my hands, then at my reflection in the living room window. The man staring back at me looks tired, older than his 35 years, but there's something else in his eyes now. Determination. For the first time in years, I know exactly what I need to do. The community center is packed for Hartwell Industries' annual shareholders meeting. I'm sitting in the back row, wearing my best suit and carrying a briefcase full of evidence that could destroy the most powerful family in town. My hands are steady, my mind is clear, and for the first time in weeks, I'm not angry, I'm focused. Charles Hartwell is at the podium, giving his usual speech about record profits and bright futures. He looks confident, relaxed, completely unaware that his world is about to collapse around him. Amanda is sitting in the front row with the other board members, beautiful and composed as always. Dominic is standing near the side exit, probably providing security. They have no idea what's coming. "Ladies and gentlemen," Charles continues, "I'm proud to report that Hartwell Industries has achieved unprecedented growth this year, with profits up 40% over last quarter." There's polite applause from the audience. Investors love hearing about profits, especially when their portfolios are getting fatter. Our success is built on the foundation of honest business practices, ethical leadership, and unwavering commitment to our shareholders' interests. That's my cue. I stand up slowly, briefcase in hand. "Mr. Hartwell, I have a question about those honest business practices." The room goes quiet. Charles squints into the audience, trying to see who's speaking. When he recognizes me, his face hardens. "Mr. Patterson, I don't believe you're authorized to be here. Security? Actually, I am authorized. I'm still a shareholder, and according to corporate bylaws, any shareholder has the right to address the annual meeting." I start walking toward the front of the room, my footsteps echoing in the sudden silence. Amanda is staring at me with a mixture of fear and fury. Dominic moves toward me, but Charles waves him off. "What's your question, Gregory?" "My question is about the Cayman Islands account numbered 847-2156-9933, specifically why company funds totaling $2.3 million have been transferred to that account over the past 18 months. Charles's face goes white. "I don't know what you're talking about." "Really? Because I have documentation right here showing that you personally authorized those transfers." I open my briefcase and pull out a stack of papers. Bank statements, email confirmations, wire transfer receipts, all with your signature. The audience is murmuring now, investors looking concerned. This isn't the kind of surprise they like at shareholders' meetings. "Those documents are fabricated," Charles says, but his voice lacks conviction. "Are they? Then you won't mind if we call the bank and verify the account information right now. I have the number right here." I pull out my phone and dial. The room is silent as I wait for someone to answer. "Yes, this is Greg Patterson. I need to verify some account activity for account number 847-2156-9933. Yes, I'll hold." Charles looks like he's about to have a heart attack. Amanda is whispering frantically to the board member sitting next to her. "Yes, I'm here." "You show deposits totaling how much?" $2.4 million? "And the account holder's name is Charles Hartwell?" "Thank you." I hang up and look at the audience. "Ladies and gentlemen, it appears that our CEO has been using company funds to finance his personal offshore banking activities." The room erupts. Investors are shouting questions, board members are arguing, and Charles is standing at the podium looking like a man watching his empire crumble. "That's not all," I continue, raising my voice above the chaos. "I also have evidence of fraudulent contracts, inflated expense reports, and kickback schemes involving multiple company executives." I start distributing copies of documents to the nearest audience members. The papers spread through the crowd like wildfire, each revelation more damaging than the last. "Gregory, stop this immediately." Amanda stands up, her composure finally cracking. "You're making a terrible mistake." "Am I? Because according to these emails, you've been helping your father hide money for over 2 years. You even used your relationship with Dominic to move funds through his department." Dominic steps forward, his face confused and angry. "What is he talking about, Amanda?" "She's been using you, Dominic. You've been signing transfer authorizations without knowing what they were really for. Congratulations, you're an accessory to embezzlement. The big man looks at Amanda, then at Charles, then back at me. You're lying. Am I? Check your records. How many transfer forms have you signed in the past 6 months? How many times did Amanda ask you to approve something without explaining what it was for? Dominic's expression changes as the truth sinks in. He's been played, manipulated by the same people who tried to destroy me. You used me, he says to Amanda, his voice barely above a whisper. Dominic, let me explain. You used me to steal money, and then you used me to get rid of your husband when he got too close to figuring it out. The room is in complete chaos now. Someone has called the police, and I can hear sirens in the distance. Charles has abandoned the podium and is trying to make his way toward the exit, but investors are blocking his path, demanding answers. Ladies and gentlemen, I call out, climbing onto the small stage. I know this is shocking, but I want you to understand something. I didn't come here for revenge. I came here for justice. The crowd quiets slightly, waiting to hear what I have to say. Charles Hartwell fired me last week because I was getting too close to discovering his crimes. His daughter betrayed our marriage to protect the family's secrets. They tried to frame me as a corporate spy to discredit anything I might reveal. I look directly at Amanda, who's standing frozen in the front row. But they made one crucial mistake. They underestimated me. The police arrive and immediately begin taking statements. Charles is led away in handcuffs, still protesting his innocence. Amanda is crying now, her perfect facade finally broken. Dominic is sitting alone in the front row, staring at his hands. As the crowd begins to disperse, Susan Walsh appears at my side. She's been here the whole time, watching from the back of the room. Well done, she says quietly. That was even better than I hoped. It's not over yet. They'll fight back, hire lawyers, try to discredit the evidence. Let them try. I've been building this case for 5 years. Every document is authentic, every witness is credible, every piece of evidence is bulletproof. I watch as Amanda is led away by federal agents. She looks back at me once, her eyes filled with a mixture of hatred and something that might be regret. Do you feel better now? Susan asks. I consider the question carefully. Do I feel better? Charles Hartwell is facing 20 years in federal prison. Amanda will probably serve 5 to 10 years as an accessory. Dominic might avoid prison if he cooperates fully with the investigation. My marriage is over. My job is gone. My life as I knew it has been completely destroyed. But for the first time in years, I feel like myself again. Yeah, I tell Susan. I think I do. As we walk out of the community center together, I can hear Amanda calling my name from the back of a police car. I don't turn around. Some bridges, once burned, should stay that way. My phone buzzes with a text message from Eddie at the gym. Saw the news, drinks are on me tonight, you earned it. I smile and put the phone away. Tomorrow I'll start looking for a new job, a new life, maybe even a new town. But tonight, I'm going to celebrate the fact that sometimes, just sometimes, the good guys win, even when they have to become the villain to do it. The sirens fade into the distance as Susan and I walk toward our cars. The sun is setting behind the community center, painting the sky in brilliant shades of orange and red. It's beautiful, and for the first time in months, I actually notice it. So what now? Susan asks. Now I figure out what comes next. What about you? I'm thinking about writing a book. How to Destroy Your Enemies, a step-by-step guide. I laugh, and it feels good. I'd buy a copy. I'll make sure you get the first one off the press. We shake hands, two people who found justice in an unjust world. As I drive home, I think about the 5-minute rule that started this whole mess. Charles Hartwell gave me 5 minutes to clear out my desk and disappear. Instead, I took 5 months to clear out his entire life. Sometimes patience really is a virtue.